Hello, soulmates. It's another sewing week with Fluxify Apparels. So, on today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you on how to draft this high-low circle top with a straps. So, right, if this is what you want to be learning and you would love to learn, let's get right into the sewing videos. But before then, if you're new to my channel, please do well to subscribe to my channel, like, share, and click on that notification bell. So today, right, we'll be using a chalk, scissors, this is my fabric, and we'll be needing your measurement tape, and also this fabric is about 3 yards, but I'll be needing like 2.5 yards depending on your size. So right here is a round ring, right, and an adjuster for our straps. So I got this from one of my old singlets, right? So I went ahead to fold my fabric into two. Now, first off, this is a circle top, and the same way you cut your 360 degrees, that's the same way you're going to be folding this particular fabric. So you see, as you can see, I folded into two already, and I'm trying to adjust it in a way that it is laying very okay without no bumps around it, right? So I'm going to be folding it again, so it becomes 4 folds. It is folded into 4. So in essence, we have 2 parts that is folded, that, as you can see, one part, and this is going to be serving as our center front and our center back, right? I know you got that. So this part is going to be serving as my length. Now, if you notice, this part has openings and the other part does not have opening, right? So I'm going to be going ahead to mark out my length. The length of this top I'm going to be using right here is 23. So from the tip, I'm going to be showing you, though the camera is not showing it right now, I'm sorry about that. From the same way you mark your flea, so from that edge you go round, put your tape and mark your 23, just the same way you see me do. So I'm going to be going ahead to mark my 23. So depending on the length you want to use, you can go ahead and mark it out. Just see the way I placed my tape and do same. It is very, very, very easy. You can achieve it. So I'm going to go in ahead to connect all the points I've marked, and this alone forms my circle, right? This is like a 360 degree. So I'm going ahead to press on my fabric so that I won't have anything like bump while drafting or cutting this particular. So as you can see, that's my center front right there, and on the other end is going to be my side seams. So I'm going to be cutting out. So this is my circle, right? So now that part where is folded into two without any cuts, but it's folded into two, and this other side is my seam side, and that side is my center. So I'm going to be going ahead. What I'll be needing for my center front now, for my to get that round stuff, you can see me placing my tape, is my chest line. My chest line divided by 4, I'm going to be placing it around it to at least accommodate that particular measurement. So for all I got 6. In some cases you can have 5, in some cases you can have 4.5, depending on your round chest. So I'm going to be going ahead to mark out the 6 all round. So it's going to be forming a circle for me, right? And I'm going to be connecting it just the way you see me. And you saw that I started marking this point from the tip, and this right here is going to be serving as our neckline, right? This is going to be serving as our neckline. So now I'm going to determine our armhole. So from that point where my tape is, I'm going to be coming down by 9 inches. Now this 9 inches is dependent on the size of the person you are making this dress for. So you can be 8 and the rest. So I'm going to be connecting this point of my armhole into the neckline, right? Just the way you see me do. Go ahead. So right now we have our armhole and we have our neckline. So this is going to serve for just the front pattern of my dress. And you remember that in this particular tutorial, the front is high, It's an alter neck. So I'm going to be going up by 2.5 inches from my center front. And I'm going to be connecting it back to my armhole line. So just the way you see me do, go ahead and do yours. It is very easy to understand. So I've gotten mine, and this is so perfect. So I'm going to be cutting across. But first of all, on that, my length, you remember that the front pattern of this circle top is higher, like it's lower, the back is higher than the front. So I went up by 2.5. You can go further if you desire. So my front pattern is going to be lower than my back pattern, meaning that my back is higher than my front. So you can decide to go up by 3 inches, 2.5. So I'm going to be lifting the fabric up just so you see me do here. Just one piece I'm cutting. That's my front pattern, right? So I'm going to be cutting and blending it in like so. So this is very, very, very understandable. So I'm going to go in ahead now to cut my front pattern. But first, so I don't make mistake, I'm going to be opening my side seams. The side seam, yes, the side pattern of the fabric, so we don't have to make mistakes. So as you can see, I'm going to place my scissors in between and open it up with my scissors, like the way you see me do. And I'm going to be picking one piece of it, right? That's going to serve as the front pattern, and I'm going to be cutting all the way. So I've right from this particular illustration, I'm going to be cutting out both the neckline and the armhole curve. Now this is it. Very easy and very simple. But for the back pattern now, the back pattern is lower. So the initial 6 inches I got for my first neckline, that is what I'm going to be marking on my back neckline. So I'm going to be taking off my front, and I'm going to be going ahead again from that tip to mark out my 6 inches. You remember how we got this 6 inches, right? Our chest line divided by 4, then we placed it around the fabric to get the 6 inches. So I'm going to be marking the 6 inches all the way around my back pattern. So I'm going to be joining the lines to form my circle. And I'm going to be cutting, or I'm trying to verify if it's correct, right? The 6 inches is correct. So I'm going to be cutting out this. So I was done cutting, as you can see. You know that we've not cut out our back armhole. So I saw that, okay, I need to cut my back armhole, and I went all the way to cut out my back armhole. So when you cut out that excess there, that back armhole, you find out that the seam sides are equal. You don't need to readjust, recut again. So right now I'm even. So I have my back pattern cut with my armhole, and I have the seam lines are equal, and the seam sides are equal, and the front is the higher part. I don't know if you understand. So I felt like I need to adjust it a little so that it will look so nice as I wanted it. So I went ahead and adjusted it, and that is it. So from here we have our front, this is our back pattern. It's our back pattern. And this is my front pattern. I'm going to be notching the center of my front pattern. And when you place it right here like this, you see that, okay, particular side is higher, and this side is going to be on the mannequin when we're done. So this is my back pattern. So that part where the straps is going to be laying on is where it's sharp a little. So I'm going to notch that part. So that's where my strap is going to be laying on, right? So go ahead and notch that part. And this is on my back pattern. I've notched it, and this is how it's going to look like. So this is my strap. What I did here was I cut out 2.5 inches of a long fabric that will serve as a band. If your straps are bigger size, you can cut like 3 inches. So like you can see, I cut out this, and I'm going to be folding half an inch inside on the other side and half an inch. Then I'm going to be folding it again, then pressing on it. So I'm going to be showing how I did it. So I fold half inch in, fold another half inch in, and I'm going to iron. You can also achieve this with a bias maker. There's a bias maker, right? One of the short videos, I'm going to be showing you what a bias maker is. So this is me going ahead to iron the bias I'm going to be using for this particular outfit. So I went ahead again to fold, just like you're locking in the half inch. So when you're done, you fold it together. So I'm ironing, and when I'm done ironing, I'm going to be showing you how we're going to be fixing this bias, these straps on our dress. So we're going to be bringing our front pattern first. So this is my front dress. So when you open the bias like this, you've put the armhole side, that is the side seam, inside, like in the middle of that bias. You put it together, it stays there, then you pin it all through, then sew on it. So I'm just follow the way I'm pinning mine and placing it. I'll pin it until we get to that middle point where I notch. That's where you're going to stop pinning and go over to your sewing machine and sew till you get to that point, then you stop, right? So watch the way I place it in the middle and pin all through. You don't need to rush about this process. Take your time, follow through, and you're going to get it. You're going to achieve the same circle top. So I got to that point, that middle point, like I said, and I'm going to be pinning and stopping my sewing around that midpoint. So you see it, that center point, I'm going to be trying to fix it in. I'll fix it in, right? I'm fixing it in. I'm taking my time so that you understand what exactly I'm doing. So yes, I was done sewing and pinning the other side. So I'm going to go ahead to pin the other side of my same dress, part of the dress. So when you get to that midpoint, it just blends in, like you flip one over the other and pin, then go ahead and sew it. It's that easy. So I'm done sewing one side, and this is how it looks, very neat. I'm going to flip the other one over it, right? So I'm going to be sewing this one just the way you see me do. Sew it till you get to that point where you sewed the first side. I'm taking my time to make sure you understand what I'm doing. So I'm not going to rush this process, because if you rush the process, you're going to miss out. So I pinned on it, and I'm going to go ahead and sew. Just flip it like this. This is how it looks, right? So I was done sewing, and this is how it looks. So I brought my back pattern to still verify the side seams, and they are still okay. So right away, I'm going to be fixing the straps into that ring, that round ring over there, fixing like 1 inch over it, just the way you see me do. Although the camera is not showing, but just fix it inside, then bring it out, then cut it out, right? It's going to be like this. Then you're going to sew the part on it. You see me the way I'm going to be pinning it down to the front side, that is the right side of my back pattern, and I'm going to pin it and sew on it. So this will serve as the holding force for the straps, right? So I'm going to be doing for the other side. fix it in, just pass it in. I'm going to pass it in, right, about like 1 inch, and cut it out. Then I'm going to be pinning it on the right side of the armhole part that I notch. I'm going to pin it in. Then I'm going to sew on it. Then after sewing on it, if you have a bias, or if you've cut a pieces of, you can cut the pieces of the clothes of the fabric and close the neckline and the armhole just the way you see me do, right? I used a bias to do mine, so you can use the fabric if it's for a client, so it look all neat, right? So I'm going to be pinning my side seams, and I'm sewing on it, like sewing on my seam allowance, sewing on my seam allowance on both sides, and I'll bring it back to the table and show you how I fix my adjuster. Yes, it's an adjustable straps. You can adjust the sleeve the way you want it. If you want it loose, you can adjust it to that extent. If you want it tight, you can. So I was done with one side of the adjustable strap. So I'm going to be showing you how I did mine. Now, before you put your adjustable strap, be sure that the length of the straps is what you want. You don't want it too long. You don't want it too small, but moderate, right? So this is my strap. It has a mid point. So I'm going to be passing the straps in one end, from one end, and I'm going to be following another end, like the way you are seeing me do it again, right? I went in, brought it out, and I went in again, right? This is how it's being done. So it's like this already. So when you're done doing that, you come to the holding force. That's the ring that holds it on the back pattern of dress. So you're going to bring it in, right, the way I brought it in through that hole, and I'm going to be going back again. There's a middle, yes, that's middle point inside. Yes, you're going to pass it inside. It's very tricky. Yes, it's very, very, very tricky. But you're going to take your time and pass it through that midpoint. From just, you saw the way my hand went. Go lay it in a way that it can pass in between that line. That's mid adjustable straps, right? So it is very tricky. I had to use my pins to pull it out. I had to use my pin to pull it out a bit. Then I continued using my hands or my fingers to bring it out. So I was done. Note that this part is very tricky and you have to take your time. You don't need to rush about it. So I was done bringing it out. And when I'm done bringing it, I'm going to adjust it in a way that, okay, my straps are very okay and they are well aligned, right? So that's part I brought out right now. I'm going to bring it again. I'm trying to adjust it. Now, this is the part where you try to adjust and see, oh, is it too long? If you want to cut it, you can go ahead and cut it. But if you know that the length of the sleeve is okay, you can use it. So that part where you brought out, you see that part you brought out right now, you're going to be folding it in a bit, then stitch on the adjustable part. So that is how it is. You can see I stitched on that same line where that's where the I folded it in, right? It is very easy. If you don't understand it, please go back again and watch. You will get to understand, right? It is very easy to go about. So this is how it looks. It is very pretty. It's adjustable, and this adjustable ring comes in different sizes. So this is a big size. You can use a smaller size, right? See, this is me adjusting, right? It is very beautiful. So if this is what you enjoy or you love it, please leave a comment on my comment section, like and share, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's still your girl Fluxify Apparels. Until the next tutorial, it is bye bye from me.